Better on the hangout, apparently. Chris said it's better between. No, some of them. Oh, in which case, let's just go for it.
Yes, found it.
Okay, guys, just this is not for me. Again, sorry, thank you for your patience. Getting started. Should be now ready to go. It's good we're streaming across both the other campuses as well. Thank you for coming tonight and giving up your evening. My name is Matt. If you don't know me, I'm the BP Sport. I'll be stepping in for Jez chairing the meeting today, who is in an important academic meeting. So do bear with me, it's the first time I've done it, but it should be all fine. I've got some important things to get through today, and again, it's your chance to kind of speak with our officers and see what we've been getting up to, as well as vote on some exciting things as well. So, right for everything, we'll get started. First things up, we've got housekeeping rules. So obviously, the toilets are situated down. If you go out of this door and turn there, and emergency exits are go out of these doors and turn right. But again, if you've got any worries about that, just get one of them to stop them to give support. But we're not expecting a fire drill. Fingers crossed. Anyway, I'm sure the residents will want that either. So. Mobile phones, just ask that they can be on silent if possible, just to avoid make sure we get through the meeting as quick as possible. Voting cards. Everyone should have a voting card. You put them up in the air. Got one? No, we haven't done them. We're not doing them. Okay, we're not doing them. We're using the hands. All right, that's fine. That's it. Everyone put your hands in the air. There we go. Right, that's good. Okay, right, moving on. So staff protocol. So that's just to do basically don't name members of staff within the union. They're not here to defend themselves. They don't have the right of audience. So when you're directing a question, please make sure you're guys talking about the relevant officer rather than the staff member of the union. Notices and statement. We're going to be coming back to this, but again, if anyone's got any other business they want to add to the end of the agenda, do speak in a second. And then I'm going to have to do an election of vice chair, which is basically any opportunity if you don't feel I'm taking the meeting well. And also when I do my report, it'll be taken over the meeting, so we'll let that as well. The other thing, if you've got any questions at all, this is for the other campuses as well. If you could use the hashtag #TrentVotes and send your questions through via Twitter, then we'll hopefully get them read out to the officers and things like that. But you guys will do as well, but obviously you guys can do. I think that was everything for that. Also for those course reps, hall reps and school reps listening, stay tuned, you'll get the link where you can confirm your attendance. That'll be coming out shortly as well. Okay, just going to look through the agenda there. We've got welcome apologies. I'm sure you can read that. Okay. Next up, notices and statements. So this is your opportunity to address me. So if you've got any other business at all, please speak now. please. We wait for the other campuses. No. Okay, that's on there. Okay, so a welcome and apologies. So I've just got apologies coming from our postgraduate officer Tim, Christian liaison officer Luke, and that's it, I believe. Is Sarah here? Jez, obviously.
Yep,
yeah, sorry.
and Sarah.
And Sarah as well. I did have my down bits here. Okay, appointment of the vice chair. So we need someone to kind of kindly step up and come sit beside me. So how are we going to do that? Has it got anyone that'd like to put themselves forward to be vice chair of the meeting? Yes, we've got one. Okay. Anyone else? No? Okay. What's your name, sorry?
Tristan.
Tristan. Okay. Oh yeah, of course. I didn't right, okay. Right, we'd like to have a vote then. All in favour of having Tristan as vice chair? We're going to count it. You're very democratic.
Good.
Yeah. And those not in favour? Oh. Okay, congratulations. Just give a round of applause. All branded up as well. Right then, without further ado, just got to accept the agenda and common for interest. So if everyone's happy with the agenda, doesn't want any of the order changing, anything like that. Good. So we just need to have a vote on that then. So just raise your hands to accept the agenda. Yes. And no. Good. Good at this, guys. Good at this. Right. Okay. So we need to just approve some things. So again, a bit more housekeeping stuff. Just need to approve the minutes from the previous meeting, which was February 2015. They can be found at the following website. So we just need to have a vote, yes, no again. So yes, if you approve the minutes. It'll be yes. Okay, and a no. That's good. Thank you very much. Right, now we're on to our officer reports. This is where our full-time and part-time liaisons will come forward, and there will be.
Sorry.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah. It's where our full-time and part-time officers will be coming forward and going through. We watch some little videos which we've made as well, which will explain what we've been up to and what we're getting up to, and then you have the opportunity to ask them any questions. First up, we have Jez. So we'll play his video. He won't be able here to ask any questions, but I suggest that if you do have any questions that you do want to ask him following listening to the video, if you could email him, it's president@su.ntu.ac.uk. So again, I'll play the video. If you want questions, give him an email.
On the screen. To your left.
Sorry, that was. Yes. Is it just a computer? Here we go. Try again. Take two.
My name is Jeremiah Anson, and I am the student union president. In my position as president, one of the most important things that I will continue to do and have done since starting into position is to ensure that the student viewpoint stays on the forefront of the university's agenda. I go to a number of important meetings with the university, and I ensure that the student viewpoint is represented in all of those meetings. One of the most important campaigns that we've run this year is the Slice the Price campaign that will run for the duration of this year. And the reason behind that is because we felt we needed to campaign more for students. And the very current issue for students is the lack of money that they currently have while studying. So far, we've had a very important one for the students in the art and design school, also the students in the architecture design and built environment school. That was securing degree share funding. In the past, students had to pay to display their final year work, and as a result of speaking to the university, they no longer have to do that. As a student union, to stay relevant to both the university and our students, we need to go out and speak to the students to ensure that their views are being represented to the university. As our role as the bridge between the students and the university, going out and speaking to them is essential, and so we've placed that at the top of our agenda this year. We are currently, in my role, I'm currently working towards getting an employment agency brought into the Students' Union. This is something that was on both my manifesto and the person that I competed against in this year's elections. It's also been on past presidents' manifestos for a number of years, and this is something that we're very close to delivering. We've got a meeting with the university coming up very soon to see if this is something that could feasibly be achieved this year. The Slice the Price campaign is a campaign that's going to run across the whole year. So I'm hoping that we can continue to get wins for students within that campaign, making living at this university a lot more cost effective.
Okay, so like I say, it's a brief bit about the bullet points that Jez spoke about. Again, he's not here today to answer your questions, so if you do have anything that you want to ask him, I'd suggest you email him president@su.ntu.ac.uk, and he can get back to you about that. Right, moving on to the next one. We have Magda. Come on, Magda.
No. Kill the lights. Kill the lights.
Hi, my name is Magda and I'm VP Education. The timetable meeting that I organised took place 2 weeks ago. It was chaired by our student parent officer and it was very, very successful. Some action points were set and another meeting was organised for term 2. So hopefully we'll be able to see some changes being made around how late the timetable is being released. I am currently helping school and course reps organise and run campaigns within their schools. So we already had some big wins from School of Education, who campaigned for more books being provided in the library, and that has already happened. We have loads more happening and loads more coming up. So if you want to get involved, or if you want to find out what your school is doing, then let me know, then I can get you in touch with your school or course reps. I also organised and chaired the academic rep assemblies with a fantastic turnout of 300 reps, and it was absolutely amazing to see so many reps actively engaged and working together to collect feedback and give it to me so then I can go and pass it on to the university. So over the last month, I trained academic representatives. So we currently have 24 school reps and 625 course representatives trained. So just before the Christmas, I'll be working on the course rep conference that will take place in January. I have already been speaking to course reps about what they would like to see at the conference, but I also have invited the Pro-Vice Chancellor and outside speakers.
Magda, come on to the front. Can you speak through the mic for me so the members on other campuses can hear you?
Hello.
Right. Has anybody got any questions they'd like to ask Magda?
Oh, I know I've been doing a good job. Yes.
So how many campaigns is actually going?
So most of the time.
Can you repeat the question?
Okay, so the question was how many campaigns are currently going on through school and course reps. So pretty much all of the school reps are running campaigns and a lot of course reps are getting engaged with them. But then there's quite a few course reps that came up to me and wanted to run their own campaigns, so I'm helping them with that. So it depends on school and on how engaged the course reps are within those schools. But there's actually quite a few this year, which hasn't happened in the past. But if there is anything that you guys want to get involved as students as well, that's possible. So it doesn't have to be just campaigns run by by course rep and school reps. But they have been having some big wins already due to the fact that I've been speaking to university members of staff as well. So it's kind of working with staff, and then you guys working, well, course and school reps working with students, and together kind of trying to push for some changes.
Any other questions? Any come in on the hashtags? Yeah, we've got one at the back there.
Say you've now trained all the school and course reps, but how have the actual school reps been getting on with their individual meetings and assemblies and stuff in engagement with that?
Yeah, so I had feedback. So the question was how engaged the course and school reps have been since they've been trained. So I've had a lot of feedback from members of staff within schools in that time, members of staff such as like deans and people like that, that told me that the turnout has been so much bigger than it has been in the past. So I know that social sciences school rep came to me yesterday and said that last year they had 6 people turn up to the school for her, and this year they had 46. So yeah, I love my course reps this year, and school reps obviously. So yeah, the turnout has been really good, and that's across all schools, so it's not just schools. So I know that business school had a huge turnout as well. So
There's no more questions. Right, let's give Magda a round of applause. Thank you all. We now move on to our VP services, who also likes that.
Yes.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Timmy. I'm VP Services 2015-2016. So post-freshers week, successfully completed the training of the hall reps. Quality of the reps are amazing. We had our first hall rep assembly. Lots of great ideas came out of it. And we have a few points to take to our commission providers and lobby for stuff for the halls. And it's going to be part of our Slice the Price campaign, which has been coordinated by the president. And it's just a bunch of things in different remits that we can add to it. And I'm excited about seeing where that goes. Successfully implemented the entertainment rep system. It's a new thing that's been done because now that they're elected, the voice is more representative of students, and they will listen to more when they actually get feedback from students regarding entertainment. Training's been done as well. Level of reps are amazing again, and I'm looking forward to working in person here. One of the biggest things I've been working with the entertainment reps on is the Trend Talent. So I'm bringing NTSU Presents Trend Talent as part of my manifesto last year. I promised to provide a platform for people to showcase their talent at the union, because I feel like there's a lot of talent that goes to waste. And on the 6th and 10th of February is going to be the auditions, and then the 26th of February is going to be the live show. As you can see on the union screens and everywhere, you can start submitting your applications now and come to the auditions, get involved. Up to £300 cash prize for first place, 200 for second place, 100 for third place, and potential performances at the union's biggest events. So I think it's a fantastic opportunity. I'm currently working in conjunction with VP Activities and newly elected International Student Officer, Global Lounge, and some of the university departments to plan Global Week. It's an exciting time next term, and it's going to be a bunch of different cultural events going on, football tournaments, representing your country in society shows. So we're looking to do something really big with that. So look out for that. And I've worked with the communications team in the union to change some of the aspects of the website of the elected students' pages, because I feel like we can be more accountable to students. So it's going to be details of what we're working on currently, what we plan on working on in the future, what we completed, and we can actually have like a little log of what we've been doing and how we achieve certain things, progress to achieve.
Has anyone got any questions at all for VP Services? Timmy?
I'm just going to say they missed out my cool spinning trick in the video. I'm upset, but questions.
Any questions?
Yes. Have you made any gains working with I know you're working with with the campus liaisons, looking at prices on the retail side of the business, like in the shops and stuff. How's that coming along?
Actually, the question is, have I been working with one of the liaisons, looking at prices in the shops? Actually, I've been working with all liaisons because they all have something regarding the shops that they want to talk about, and they all have different aspects. So BRAC looking at ranges and opening times, City and Clifton are looking at prices in the shops and value for money, and I'm looking to work with them to see what they want to achieve with that, and I can take that forward and implement it and actually see this what students want. So the feedback is from different campuses, like they want cheaper stuff, want better value for money here, and BRAC, I think they want longer opening times and weekends. So things like that, I think we can work on, and I can take that forward to the relevant people and see what we can achieve. So I'm excited to see where that goes.
Any questions coming in from the hashtag? Yes.
So we've had a question on Twitter. In the past, hall rep engagement has been low. How do you plan to keep engagement high or improve it this year?
Well,
Can you repeat the question?
the question was, in the past, hall rep engagement have been low. How do I plan to
keep engagement
keep
high or improve
engagement
it?
high
Or improve it?
or improve it this year? Well, let me just start by saying our first hall rep assembly had, the highest turnout we ever had, and we had 5 people put themselves forward for student council positions, so I'm really, really excited about that. That's the highest we ever had as well. And we have incentives for people to actually keep engaged, so, such as accreditation of their commitment. So on the HERE certificate, they actually, when they graduate, they get like a little transcript, and there's an accreditation of how much commitment they actually put into the role and what they've gotten out of it, and that is enough to keep a lot of them engaged for the year, I think, hopefully. Can we have some hearts in the room, please? Can you put your hands up? Yeah, from Clifton, City, BRAC, yeah, they're representing. And the ones that are online watching, love you too.
Any more questions for me? Yes, we've got one here.
Hi, I'm sorry if I sound a bit negative. I'm really glad to hear that the hall reps are stepping up a bit, because I'm a residence assistant, and one of the things we got told was that the hall reps weren't doing what they were intended to do, or hadn't been able to do what they were intended to do. So this year, the residence assistants were asked to put on events and kind of pick up the slack a bit.
Sorry, great question. The question is being.
I'm not really sure.
Can you put a question in there, please?
I think it's more of a statement. I'm glad that they're stepping up a bit more, because our role is quite big, and to put organising events on, though we're happy to do it, it's tough. So I'm really glad they're stepping up. So thank you.
Yes. Well, first of all, thank you for that feedback, and they are stepping up, which is great news. And also, I think in previous years, we've actually realized that the pressure of putting event organization on a first-year student in first term can be a lot, especially if they don't actually prepare for it. So this first term, all they actually needed to do is represent, to bring back feedback, and then second term onwards, when they've stepped into the role, they know what they're doing. If they decide to, we're gonna have like 5 different networks, so volunteering, sports, events, or whatever they want to go into, then they can actually specialize and go into any of those roles. And that will be them volunteering to go in there, knowing what they're going to be getting themselves into, not just, I'm a hall rep, now I have to plan a whole night out for my entire hall. Because let's be honest, that's a bit tricky, isn't it? So I do appreciate that. But then we've also like flipped around a little bit, so they don't actually have to do all that till second term. I think that makes it a bit easier, right? Yeah. Cool.
One more back.
Hi, I was wondering, I want to get more involved Global Week. Where should I look for information? Who should I contact?
Well, if you want to, how do I get more involved with Global Week, and
no, who should I contact?
Who should you contact for more information? To get involved, well, we're going to start promoting Global Week from the start of second term. If you want to get involved, you can contact myself, or you can contact yourself, the International Students Officer in the back, to ask the question. Or you can just wait till we actually put out information about it. But really, start off second term, we're going to have information going out, so you can't, hopefully you cannot miss it. It should be on the screen, it should be everywhere. It's a great time. It's a fantastic chance to learn about all sorts of cultural diversity that we have in the union. So look out for it, and please do get involved.
Thank you. I think we'll leave it there. So round of applause for Timmy. Yeah, so next up, We have our VP Community House.
Hi, I'm Daz and I'm the VP Community. Our Don't Let Yet campaign launched on the 26th of October. We visited all 3 campuses throughout that week and gained loads of student feedback on any sort of housing issues students have had in the past, and also promoted our housing fair that we've got happening on the 1st of December. The next part of our Don't Let Yet campaign is the housing fair, which is taking place on the 1st of December. It's going to be taking place at the City SU in the Level and both the Sports Hall, where we've invited a load of trusted providers as well as promoting our contract checking service that we've got. And if students attend, they're in with a chance of winning their deposit for next year up to £300. So from the previous meeting, I spoke about wanting to get charges installed into the SU. At the moment, we've got temporary charge bars that have been running in the City SU cloakroom on Saturdays. We're also rolling these out to Bracken Clifton over the next week or so. So hopefully it should be a hit, but I'm looking towards getting something more permanent done sort of within the second term. So I've been in talks with Nottingham City Council regarding £1 bus routes for Trent students. As it stands, the bus routes that are currently £1 don't necessarily benefit our students that well. So my feedback's been taken to their next meeting, in which they've said that they'll get back to me next week. So I'm currently planning a campaign to try and tackle exam stress called Stressed Out Students, or also known as SOS. The campaign will be launching over the January exams, and it will involve sort of a lot of different activities to try and help reduce stress and to make life better for our students during exam periods.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Yeah, go on.
What?
Do we have any questions for our VP Community?
Sorry, I sound really bad. I sound a bit like
Any questions? Yes.
So you mentioned that the housing fair was today. How did it go?
So I think last time we looked, there's about, repeat the question. Oh,
So that they can hear it on there.
Wait, what's it again? How did the housing fair go? Is that it? Do you know?
Yes.
Yeah. So last time we looked, I think there was almost 600 students had logged in on the swipey card thing. And we were getting really positive feedback, so I think it was enjoyed by everyone that went. I thought it was good.
You got any hashtags coming in? Is the questions? No. Yeah.
What exactly do you want to achieve instead of the £1 bus fares? For the Nottingham City Council, what exactly do you want to put in place?
So basically, what is it that I want to put in place with the £1 bus fares? So when I went to a meeting with all the councillors, it was like really of us and all the councillors. They were under the impression that the £1 bus fares were for all students, but actually the routes that are £1 for students are predominantly uni-odd routes. So that tend to be like your orange routes and your pink routes that go through Lenton. Obviously, with a lot of our city students that do bus, they tend to live on the brown routes, or the bus to Clifton is very popular, which if you want to get a return for that, that's £3.50 each time. So when I took that to them, they're now taking that to their next transport meeting with all the big dogs in transport. So hopefully that's going to get fed back to me, and either we'll have a change straight away or it will get taken further.
Yes, we'll go into then the red.
In regards to the housing fair, I found that when I was there earlier, most of the accommodation was like in the city centre. I was wondering if on future parts of the campaign there was any plans to get more housing providers for areas such as West Bridge, Liverpool.
Yes, so if there's plans to get more housing providers involved from different areas. Sorry, it's really hard to repeat. Yes, so I mean we were quite limited this year with how many we could have, but we're hoping for next year to get feedback from students about who actually have good experiences with their landlords, so that we can like improve it for next year. I know some students were questioning why we didn't necessarily have that many BRAC focused providers, but obviously if the message with BRAC students is quite different, because if we were telling you all to don't let yet, you wouldn't have anywhere to kind of go. So it was more about pushing to you guys about coming to get your contracts checked and things like that, just to make sure that you're not getting roped into anything that was unfair. So that was
We've got one just coming in, sorry, from Twitter.
So the question was, what do you have in mind to keep stress amongst students low?
What do I have in mind to keep stress amongst students low? So we want to put a range of activities on. I've been in talks with sports to see about if we can increase the accessibility to some of their beginner sessions, as well as seeing if we can put on some additional maybe yoga sessions for students. We're hoping to get like exam goodie bags, which will have little bits that will help out students, as well as like things like quick fix recipes, and just basically have a whole host of different activities to try and take students' minds.
Yes.
Are these SOS campaigns only to run through the exam period, or are you planning to extend them throughout the year?
So it's originally the one in January. Oh, sorry. Is it just going to run through exam periods, or is it going to run throughout the year? It's really hard. So the SOS one in January, it's going to start on the 18th of January, the week before the exam periods begin, and it will end on the 5th of February. And it's kind of going to be almost a bit of a pilot to see what works for then the main summer period in May/June. But yeah, so it's going to run over the exam periods, and if it's successful, we can look about maybe prolonging it.
Take one more. Wasn't last one. Yeah, we'll go.
Sorry. As far as the bus from Brack to City goes, I know it's heavily subsidised by the uni anyway, but are there any plans to sort of like increase that, or even like there's a very short period in which, well, okay, a month, but still, there's a period in which you can apply for that bus pass, for instance, but after that, there's no chance, there's no sort of, or we're not aware of any like termly things that might be a bit easier for people to afford, because £200 in one goes a lot.
So is there any plans to improve the subsidiary for the bus routes for that? Yeah, okay, good. Yeah, so I've been in talks with your prac liaison officer, and as well as part of one of our strands of our overall campaign for the year to improve satisfaction for our BRAC students. So it's definitely something that's on our radar, and it's something that we're going to be taking forward.
That's great. We'll leave it there, but if you've got any more questions for Zaz, we've got our email, which is bbcommunity@su.ntu.ac.uk, or you can speak to it, yeah. Well, thank you very much, Zaz. You're a round of applause. Okay, we'll move on to the activity, Lizzie. Nice speech.
I'm Lizzie Kelly, and I'm your VP Activities. So during November, I helped some of our societies put on a cultural celebration, and we had a Diwali, but also a bandy corps event as well. So 2 of our societies got involved in that. It was an absolutely amazing day. They taught people about their different cultures and religions, and loads of different students came to get involved, taste some food. Yeah, it was really, really good, really interactive, and everyone was really happy, so that was amazing. So the Societies Coordinator and I have also recently just finished the first draft of our equality and diversity training that we're hoping to send out to all societies, sports clubs, and also get 4 reps involved. So it's just a bit of extra training for them, and we're going to be doing that in coordination with the universities with the full support of them, and that'll be rolled out next term. So watch out, check your emails, you'll be getting those very soon. I've also been working with societies to discuss how we can better support them. We're starting conversations about how we can support current societies, help get them more members throughout the year, but also the newer societies who sort of get thrown in at the deep end at any point in the year. And with some of our faith societies, I'm also working with them and student services over at NTSU, and helping figure out what we can do with the prayer room facilities that have just been put in place, and how we can best make sure that all the different faith societies are represented within those prayer rooms. So over the weekend, Women's Rugby held their touch rugby competition, and they were fundraising for RAG and BACZAC. So absolutely brilliant work to them, and thank you very much. And I'm now working with other sports clubs, societies, and my RAG organisers on events that we are going to be putting in place for January starters, but also working towards our big events, which is RAG Week. So loads more information will be flying out to students about that as we get back after Christmas. So on one of my manifesto points, I said that I wanted to change how we introduced Refreshers Week which is normally for January starters and when everyone gets back from Christmas. And what we basically want to try and do is make it sort of a month-long programme of events. So we're working with staff at the union, societies and the university to try and create that programme so that people have more of a chance to get involved, whether you've just started in January or you missed some events went on in Freshers Week or throughout first term. It's just that extra little opportunity to try and find something that you really love here at Trent.
Thank you. Right, has anyone got any questions for Lizzie? Yes, at the front.
So do you know how you said that you've been working with sports clubs and things like that to organise events to collect money for RAG? Can you give us some examples of what has happened in the last month or so and things that students can get involved with in next term?
Okay, so the question is, which sports and other groups are currently worked with to put on RAG events and what events are going to be coming up in the future? So most recently we had badminton put on a UV badminton tournament. Basically we completely back out the sports hall and get loads of UV in there, UV tape, etc. Everyone wears really bright clothes. And they were fundraising for RAG, but also some of that money was going towards BACZAC, which is a campaign for one of our current Trent students who's quite ill at the moment. And we've also had volleyball, so they put on a UV event as well in the same evening, so everyone kind of transitioned in, different people coming out of those events. As I mentioned, women's rugby recently just put on their touch rugby tournament, which was really good and actually won by the cricketers, so bizarre. And then future events, we are also going to be doing another event with women's rugby, men's football, American football are also going to be getting involved, and the RAG organisers are going to be helping me put on events in RAG Week. So RAG Week's normally a complete whirlwind of all sorts of different events. We've had Blind Date, we've had Take Me Out, we do little coin competitions where you do a coin line around the SU and see how long it gets, all really wonderful kind of things. But if anyone does want to get involved, just get in touch with me. Any kind of ideas you've got for fundraisers or for events we can do are always welcome.
Any more? Yes, in the red.
Are there any plans to let like non-sports societies get tickets to Ocean Wednesdays? I've been told that apparently I can't anymore.
Okay, so that question was about societies getting tickets to Ocean Wednesdays. It's a complete lie that you can't, so I don't know who told you that. Basically, it's a very long-winded process, but if you come chat to me after, I'll explain exactly what you need to do to be able to get those tickets. Yeah, societies are also allowed Ocean Wednesday tickets, so Wednesdays aren't just a sports club thing, it's sports and societies, so yeah, you're most definitely able to get those tickets.
Any on the Twitter? Any more? Yes, sir.
What sort of events are you looking at putting into place second term for the January starters?
Okay, so for January starters, what normally happens is it's pretty much just a week of events, kind of similar to Freshers, we'll have a fair, etc. But we want to take the fair away and make it sort of a month-long programme. We're going to have societies using their current events, workshops. So some of our societies are academic, and we're going to try and get Freshers and people starting on those courses in January into those academic workshops. As well as societies like Trent TV, for example. They also go around and can give people skills using cameras, editing, all that kind of thing. So any interest you have, if there's a society there for it, we're going to be working with those societies to make sure that the events they have in January can facilitate anyone who is new and coming into uni or has missed out in first term.
One more of those one. Yes.
You mentioned academic societies, and I'm on committee for an academic society. One of the things that we found that we struggle a bit with is getting support from our department in terms of our activities. Is that anything that the union can help with?
Sorry, question. So the question was, is there anything that the union can do to help with academic societies getting support from their department? So yes, most definitely. We currently only have one coordinator, but the new one will be starting very soon. So by January, all of the academic societies will have met their new coordinator. and we are going to start working with her and basically work towards getting in touch with all of the departments that have academic societies currently, and try and drum up that support. So some schools are absolutely incredible at supporting their academic societies, and basically we're just going to use them as best practice and take it to the other schools to be like, look, this is what other schools have done. We would like you to offer the same kind of support or similar if it's there.
That's absolutely brilliant. Right, give Leslie a round of applause. Thank you. Right, next is me. So I'll play the video and then I'll hand over to my vice chair, Kristen. My name is Matt Nilsson and I'm your VP Sport. So quickly now. One of the things that I've been working on this term is the Club of the Week initiative. So what that involves is rewarding clubs for doing some great things, whether it's community work, raising money for charity, or having an exceptional performance in Bucks League or an individual competition. So it's £100 that goes straight towards their club account, and it's all about increasing awareness about sports clubs and the great things that they do. Another thing that I've been working on this term is working with Zaz, our VP community, and the NTSU Consent and Respect campaign. So you might have seen me voicing over the TV video, but I've also been spreading the awareness about sports clubs as well. This term I've also sat on the Bucks Elite Sport Group, where I represent all UK sabbatical officers. During the role, I've raised the need for all of our institutes to increase the awareness of mental health, diversity and inclusivity workshops within their club committee training. So as that goes through, it's something we're really proud to see pushed out across the board. So around 20% of students who come to university will experience some kind of mental health issue. So I'm working with VP Activities, Lizzie Kelly, and the Charity Student Minds to draft up some training workshops for our sports club committee members, our society committee members and our hall reps, basically to improve the awareness of our teams and clubs around mental health, diversity, inclusivity, and to give them kind of a better understanding of what it involves and how to best look after their members. And then looking forward, some of the things I'm working on include a variety of campaigns. The first one comes into place next week, which is a Bucks Girl Can campaign to promote women's sports. We've got loads of events going on throughout the week. The next one, which will come in next term, is Tackling Perception in Sport, which is all about showing how all of our sports clubs here at NTU are accessible to all, no matter your age, gender, ethnicity. There's no barriers stopping you from taking part. And the final one, which we hope to roll out around varsity time, is the Rainbow Laces campaign, which helps to support kicking out homophobia, biphobia and transphobia out of sport. So we're going to get all the teams wearing their rainbow laces to support that great cause.
Do we have any questions for Matt?
Question from Twitter is, what will NTSU be doing to combat the lad culture found in the leaked report?
Yeah, so the question was, what will NTSU be doing about the
lad culture found in the leaked report?
So firstly, it's obviously something we do care about, and we've been working this year. I'm sure you'll be aware of the initiative that's been in place where all the clubs now aren't funded by alcoholic sponsors. So what that means is our clubs now have relationships with other companies outside of alcohol related things like that, which has been really good to see people kind of benefiting from different sponsors in different ways, and it does relieve the pressure on our social sector. So there's no longer the pressure to kind of go to these bars at certain times. You're free to have diversity in your social scene. You can go out, and that's trying to help to promote the social side of things as well. And things like that. So we are really working. Again, I'm looking to put in these mental health and diversity workshops as well, really to give our club committee members as much support and advice about helping people that might be suffering, particularly alcohol can come into that as well, and stopping the pressure that's placed on some of our students. So it's something I'm really passionate about, something we're working on, and certainly if anyone's got any concerns at all, they're more than welcome to come and speak.
More?
How is your 58 and 30 campaign coming along? And out of the sports you tried, which one have you been most surprised by joining, or how difficult you found it?
Okay, so the question was, how's my 58 and 30 campaign going, and which one have I been surprised by or enjoyed? So for those who don't know, I'm trying to attempt to do every single sport. at the university. There's 58 in total, and there's 30 weeks of term, hence 30. I'm currently on 21. It was meant to be 22 tonight. I was going to come to Brack Hockey, but sadly got cancelled, so I'll have to save that one for next term. No, it is going really well. I'm really enjoying it. In terms of sports, a lot of surprised me actually. I did canoe polo the other day. That was really interesting. Actually, really enjoyed that, but a lot more difficult than before. Fencing, as I'm sure you know, I tried out as well, which is a lot more tiring than actually you'll be surprised. But a team that's really progressing as well. They've all been good though. They've all been good fun. Sports I never thought I'd try, so really enjoying it. And actually, it gives me an opportunity to see what it's like to be in your guys' shoes as well. And I feel like I can represent you better when I know exactly, you know, what you guys go through in terms of like training and what it entails. So hopefully it helps me. And like I say, I'll be getting over to Brack soon, hopefully in the new year, to try some of the sports.
Do you have any more questions for that?
So do you know how a lot of students want to take part of Wednesday and bucks and things like that, and they want to go and play games, but unfortunately they have lectures on a Wednesday afternoon. Have you already been doing something in regards to that?
Okay, so the question was in regards to Wednesday lectures, which might stop people from taking part in bucks or sports. Yeah, no, it's a massive thing, and in a university this side, it will always be hard to kind of accommodate everyone into a 4-day week. I've been gathering a lot of feedback from all of our sports coaches and all of our teams. So those of you that attend the sports council, I've asked everyone to write down anyone that might have clashes and lectures, and then I think it gives it more powerful, the more information we can gather. Working with VP Education as well to gather as much feedback from postgrads as well, working with Tim. And I think once we get all that information, we're going to collate that down, look at things we can do. Will be an advantage next year if the system of filming lectures comes in, which it is due to, as it means people, you know, if they do miss a lecture, there's still the opportunity to catch up. But then it comes down to seminars, which I'll really be looking at to see if we can follow a model where we can spread them out to allow people the access to sport. But again, it's an ongoing thing. It's not easy because the amount of time, there's only certain hours in a week, but it is something I'm really passionate about, and I'm going to really try and push forward into the university's agenda. That's not my job.
And we'll do 2 more, 1 and then 2. That's it.
I just wondered if you tried any ways of making some sports more accessible to the students out here. So there's a lot of them that can only take place in City or at Clifton. And one of my housemates, he does water polo, which involves 2 buses to get to the far side of the city, which means he doesn't get back till God knows how late. And I fence, and it's all right for me because I have a car, but I think I'm the only person I know out here who also fencing because it's so difficult to get to on Wednesday night by bus. I wondered if there was a way of making it more accessible, as in maybe providing some kind of transport for people who really want to do these sports but can't get there.
Okay, so the question was to do with transport from Brackenhurst to City to enable people to take part in more sports. Again, that's something that Zaz is looking into with the bus route she mentioned, so I'm more happy to work with her. It is tough, I'll be honest with you, it is tough for you guys out here. I'm trying to get you involved as much as possible. Later on in the year, me and VP Services got a big plan for the end of term, which we're going to roll out as a tri-campus game, so you guys will be able to come and get involved, and it'll be Brackenhurst teams, Clifton teams, City teams as well. Also bringing the team photos to Brackenhurst in January, February time, so you guys, saving you from travelling to City, we'll bring the photos here so you can have the team photos and like that. In terms of other different sports, there's also a plan coming up in second term where we're going to bring a week of sports over to here and working with Southwell. We had a meeting last week, and basically for our beginner sessions and social sessions, which run in City, we're going to try and run them for a week here using the facilities down Southwell, which will give people the opportunity to try other sports. But in terms of the transport issue in particular, that's something that I know is being looked into, and although that doesn't fall directly into my remit, it's something that I'll support VP community on. So.
Last question.
As an international student, my visa is dependent on my attendance. So what are your sort of considerations with like live streaming lectures with that? Okay, so the question was to do with live stream lectures and being visa dependent on attending. Again, I don't want to answer for, because this is actually a VP education thing, so I could say if you've got any concerns, probably speak to Magda about that as she's working on that. That's probably more her remit than mine.
And back to Matt after round of applause.
Right. Okay, so just before we move on to our part-time liaison officers, we're just going to do, for those course reps, hall reps, and school reps that are listening, if you could go on to the link. How are we going to do this? Just read out. So it's www.trentstudents.org, and then it's / I watched UM. So I watched UM. You'll know what that means, hopefully.
If you're in the room, you don't need to do it. If you're in this room.
If you're in this room, you don't need to do it. So this is only for people at Clifton and City. So yeah, sorry, www.trentstudents.org / I watched UM. And now we'll move on. So our part-time liaison, so starting with our Clifton liaison officer. No, Clifton City, sorry. Good start to that video there. You might just leave it on here. Oh, go back.
Hello, I'm Mayo and I'm your City Liaison Officer. I ran an independent survey comparing our SU promotional offers to the local shops like Tesco and Waitrose, basically to see who gave the better offers. Using the results that I received, I'm going to take that forward and it should give me a good indication on what I should do next. I held my first city gathering, which was amazing. I had record numbers of attendance, so shout out to everyone who came. A few things that I spoke about was printing on city campus, so like the print shop. Also spoke about buses for halls, like the outline halls, and I also spoke about the SU shop. So receiving that feedback like really helped me out, so I know what to do with regards to that. So a little spoiler for you, I've been working with Zaz, the VP Community, on SOS. Stressed out students. It was basically something I put on my manifesto that I wanted to sort of create that platform for students to de-stress during exam period. So me and Zaz are working closely and we look forward to bringing that out to the students from City Campus and to the other campuses. Finally, I'm really excited about this one. Fly FM has given me my own radio show. It's pretty cool, because obviously it's run by me. It's called just like Mayor's Morning Show, really. It's on Thursdays, 10 to 12. So just catch me on it, tweet in, Facebook message, and I'll be talking about loads of really cool stuff from the SU, all those politics, all those trivial stuff. So yeah, just catch me on it.
That's great, round of applause. So yeah, just quickly for those in case I skipped over that quite quickly. So we've got 3 liaison officers, City, Clifton, and Brackenhurst, and they're current students, so it's a part-time role, they're all volunteers. But they're like kind of the voice and ears and mouth in the ground. So, right, have we got any questions for our City liaison? I don't know why it's not on. We'll just put that on. That's fine. Any questions at all? Yes, at the back, Emily.
You said that you did the survey, like comparing prices. What did you actually find in the survey?
So you asked me if I did the survey and what did I find on the survey? So I basically went to the local shops in City Campus, which was Tesco and Waitrose, and I compared prices, well, I compared promotion offers to our SU shop. And to be fair, out of about 14 to 15 different promotion offers, the SU only came out on top on about 2 of them, which sort of gives me a good indication as to what needs to be improved on. So fundamentally, I'll find out what sort of offers or what sort of items students want to see promotional offers on, and then I'll work on trying to get that in.
Anyone on Twitter? Okay, thank you, round of applause from there. Next up we have our Clifton liaison officer, Luke. Luke's not here with us today, so again, I'll give you his email address if you want to contact him about any questions. But for now, I'll play the video.
Hi, I'm Luke Holmes. I'm your Clifton liaison officer for 2015 and 16. I've set up my office hour, which is 1 till 2 on a Tuesday and 3 till 4 on a Friday, which I then use to get feedback from people and maybe people who haven't run into another exec officer who are outgoing to come in and give their opinions and suggestions about Clifton campus. We've set up a regular liaisons meeting, that's every 2 weeks, in order to make sure that we can coordinate our messages across all 3 campuses to make sure nobody gets left behind. I've I've started looking at ways for us to get some sort of transport for students shopping to and from the local Morrisons and Clifton area. We found a lot of people tend to get bulk amounts of cans and that sort of thing all at once. And if we can help students get that stuff to and from the local area without having to pay extra for delivery, that would be great. At the moment, I'm looking at ways to expand the bus stop we have on Clifton. At the moment, it's quite small. There's only about 8 seats on there, and the shelter itself is quite small. So we're looking to add more seats and a bit more shelter, especially since it's right in the middle of winter. It's just going to keep getting colder, and it should help people to stay a little bit warmer and staying on the bus queue. In future, I'm looking to get more deals in the shop. It's something that's come up quite often. We've been working on that already this term, and we're hoping to try and roll that out across all 3 campuses.
As I said, Luke isn't here today, but I've got his email address. It's just it's cliftonliaison@su.ntu.ac.uk. Clifton Liaison, and then at that. So if you've got any questions for Luke at all, do email him. And then finally, face you might recognise, it's you can do the lights.
Hi, I'm Kaya, and I'm your Brackenhurst Liaison Officer. I've worked with the community to create an action plan to create better satisfaction for students as part of the NSS score. This includes more affordable and more reliable transport, as well as better catering facilities and more feedback from students. So I've just held my first Brackenhurst Campus Committee meeting, which is the opportunity for the leaders of campus to come together and synthesise the feedback that we've got from members of Brackenhurst. So this has created a platform on the website for students to vote on the matters that have arisen that are most important to them. So this is things like the catering, the food outlets, the housing, and whether the library should be open 24/7. So that will be open to vote as of next week. I have liaised with the library and lecturers to make sure that we have a better pool of resources in the library and to have a greater variety of core textbooks when they're needed in first term. So back in October, I also helped run the Brackenhurst Street After Hour, which is a Halloween event aimed to cater towards students who don't like drinking. So moving on from that, what I'm currently looking to do is branch that out and build on the success to create a Christmas event for students who don't want to go out and drink it and go to the breakfast event. So finally, what I'm looking to do before the end of term 2 is to focus more heavily on my manifesto, and one of those points was to make accommodation more affordable. So whether this means trying to work with the accommodation team to reduce prices or look at making more amenities available in the accommodation to make it better value for money.
Great. Round of applause. Thanks. Yeah. Awesome, thank you all. Right, have we got any questions for Kaya?
Questions.
Yes.
What sort of amenities are you thinking of?
So it's things like, obviously it's student accommodation. Is that what you mean, like the accommodation?
Yeah.
So it's student...
Yeah, sorry, just repeat the question.
Oh yeah, so what are some of the amenities that we're looking to improve in the accommodation? So it's things like, because it's student accommodation, things like maybe getting whiteboards in there, or a chance for more planning to take place actually within accommodation, so people don't have a reason not to come to lectures, and remove some of the excuses. So it's just things like actual physical things that they don't have to go out and buy, because really we should be providing them for the cost of it.
Any other questions? Yes, sir.
What are you trying to achieve in the library? Sorry, what sort of books were you looking at doing in the library? With a wide range of resources, what does that mean?
Okay, so the question was, what am I looking to do to get a wider range of resources in the library? So it comes to my attention a number of times to do with what the actual issue with the resources at the library was. And it turns out that
the core resources that people require in first term, the lecturers aren't sending the lists off correctly to the library, and it's never going through. So we're finding that there's only like one core textbook for an entire course. So I've had a meeting with the library just to make sure that, well, both the library and lecturers to make sure that the system's going through properly. And we've now got more resources in the library, so we're hoping that like next year it can happen in first term rather than like happening at the end of this term when sort of we'll pass on to terms.
Any more questions? Yes, at the front. Have you got any further updates on the lighting for the bus stop and down to Southwark?
Well, there is now a light at the bus stop. Okay, so the question was, have you got any more updates about the lights down Southwell and bus stop? So we originally thought that there was going to be lights when they put the bus stop thing up, and I got really excited, and then there wasn't. But there now is a light at the bus stop. So in terms of the lights down to Southwell, we're actually running a referendum on the website, which is an opportunity for BRAC students to vote on the matters that are most important to them. And one of the points on there is whether people would like increase safety down to Southwell. So if people go on and vote on the website for the referendum, then if that's something that matters to you, then there's a chance for a campaign to go.
We've got one on the Twitter. I'm just going to take.
You spoke in your manifesto about introducing students from other campuses to BRAC. How do you plan to do that?
Okay, so the question was, like in the manifesto, I spoke about getting more students across the BRAC. How am I going to do that? So we ran some trial events and freshers to see how things would work in terms of bigger scale events. But we're looking to do bigger scale events in summer when BRAC in person is at its nicest. So getting students across to do things like fun days and sports days, and it will tie in with some of the activities that the full-time officers want to do in the city. There's a great space and opportunity to bring it out here. So it's things like sports days and stuff like that, a chance for people to come out for a bit of fun in the space that we've got.
Take two more. Go. Is that a hand? Yeah, do one there and then jump in.
Sort of going back to the lighting issue, I don't know if it's come up before or if it's sort of part of the same problem. Living over at Southall House, there is no lighting across the road or in the parking, which, although there's only a few of us living over there, considering all the path down to the annual unit is lit, it doesn't feel very safe to park there. Well, it's not even the middle of the night, it has to be 5 o'clock at the moment until it's black, and quite a lot of us parking over there as women on our own, and I tend to just park by the house if I'm worried about it, but I do need lighting over there.
So the question was like, what is the possibility, and is anything being done about the lights at Southall House? So it wasn't something I'd necessarily thought about before, because a lot of the complaints come out from the Southall Road. But it's quite difficult to sort of lobby the council on that. But if we're going to lobby the council for the lights down here, there's nothing to say that something can be done at Southall House. And equally, the light at the bus stop is actually done by NTU, not by the council. So there's possibilities to speak within house, whether there's a possibility to get a light in that area, since it's our recommendation.
Yeah, so there was final question. So yeah.
Have you got any ways to make BRAC more inclusive assisting Clifton?
Okay, so the question was, have you got any ways to get BRAC more included in the city? Okay, so this is a really difficult thing, because some people say we want to be our own community, some people say they want to be part of City Clifton. We've worked to try and make sure that like events cater more to Brockenhurst students by putting on things like free transport. So it's just a case of making sure that the events that are actually being run are more inclusive. But I do think there's an issue around the fact that what we want at BRAC is a little bit different. That's why we've tried to sort of make sure that events that we're holding here actually are sort of what Brockenhurst students want, so that they can sort of, they don't have to feel like they have to be part of the City Clifton stuff either, but we are providing things like transport to get people there and do stuff like that.
Yeah, thank you very much. That's the question now again. If you've got any more questions, come see Carl at the end. But round the floor, thank you very much. Okay, that's all the officer view up for today. Again, if you've got any questions for anybody, see us here at the end if you want to ask any questions, or send us an email. Now we're going to be moving on slightly to the big ideas. Okay, so there's two big ideas that we're going to be discussing and then voting on. Now these are things that have been passed by the student council, but because they're changes to the DPD, it needs to go to a union meeting. The DPD, what is the DPD? That's true. It is the Democratic Process Document. So it's basically how us as a union, the rule we need. It's basically us as a union, how our democratic processes work, so the rules and regulations that we follow, to represent our members as possible. So it's basically to do with the roles in this instance. But as I say, they were passed by student council. They need to go to this union meeting to be voted on. We need a 2/3 majority to go through. Now there will have to be a bit of patience because we will be getting voted not only from this campus but also from Clifton and City. So just bear with us while we do the count. You'll have an opportunity to vote yes, to vote no, and to abstain. Abstain is if you have no interest in the matter or don't have an opinion, and there is that option as well. So starting off, the first one we've got is expanding the remit of the parent-student officer to include representation for student carers. Okay, so this was submitted. The facts are that the carers are not supported and represented at NTSU. The impacts: carers will be able to self-define and be supported by NTSU and feel welcome. And the reaction: carers will be joined with parents, so a common ground will be reduced isolation and awkwardness. NTSU will be better able to tailor engagement opportunities to include student carers. So in effect, it will be putting in student carers within our parent-student officer role, kind of include them in that as well. Okay, so we need to do a vote on this, whether we accept this, make it go through. So if you'd like to accept this, please raise your hand for a yes vote. I'll just do the count. Yeah, I'm sorry. They're good yet? Got on. We'll just wait for. If you'd like to vote no, yeah. It's like Eurovision. All good. And finally, abstention. We have one abstention. A brave man. Okay, awesome. That passes. So, round of applause for that passes. Carers will now be included in the parent-student remit. Awesome. Okay, well, just on that. So, next one, which was submitted by one of our officers anyway. So, Queen, are you going to come up and present it? You want to come up?
Would you like me to?
Yeah, I'd love you to. So, it's basically changing the role. It's changing the title of BME student officer to ethnic minority student officer, and all that. We can say the reason why.
Hello, Queenie. Basically, when I was asked, so I had my assembly not too long ago, and I had the greatest turnout, so that was really good. But many students didn't actually know what BME stood for, so, and I assume that this is why people don't engage as much in activities and assemblies and stuff like that are held by the association. So I think that by changing the name of the association to ethnic minorities, it will allow more students to include themselves and identify themselves as a BME student, and then therefore get more involved in the activities that we do.
Now, obviously, as a democratic process, there is the opportunity for anyone to speak against this motion. So if anyone would like to speak against it, please raise your hand. Just check. Okay. No. Okay, in that case, then, thank you very much. If you'd like to see, we'll take a vote on this. Okie dokie. So, again, same again. You get a for, against, and an abstention vote. So if we start off, everyone that is for this motion, please raise your hand. Those hands up. All right, let me put them down. Swing across to the two councils. Awesome. Now those who'd like to vote against. Okay. And finally, abstention. Okay, brilliant. So that also passes. So yeah, these will now be put into the DPD and changed accordingly. So you'll see them changes. Well, come straight away, isn't it? So, exciting times. Right. Okay, now we move on to. Okay, right, yeah. You want me to do this one? Queenie. Oh, Queenie, you're gonna come up again. Give a round of applause. Okay, so they were big ideas that went through Student Council, and there's another proposed change or update, sorry, to the democratic process document as well. And it's a bit of info on here, but I'll go for it.
So basically, as part of the strategic plan for the SU, we had a part-time officer review to try and make the SU more inclusive and to make the students of the university better. So we had focus groups, which were basically between all of the officers, like part-time and full-time execs. And our focus was basically trying to make sure that people properly, that people identify, making sure that the job titles are more self-explanatory, and also including things like care responsibilities into the other remits. Thanks. So basically we came to the conclusion of these new so all of the officers will now be called equality and diversity officers, and they will have a specific remit or demographic that they will cover. So, for example, my role will now be called Equality and Diversity Officer for Ethnic Minorities, and we changed the LGBT Students Officer to Sexuality, and we also have a Gender Equality Officer, and the Postgraduate and Mature Students Officer have been merged into one, essentially, and are now called the Non-Traditional Learning Officer. And then Parent Students Officer has been changed to Parents and Parents.
We're going to take an opportunity now. Is there any questions that anyone would like to ask? That's quite a big change. Yes.
I'm wondering, are we then defining postgraduate students as non-traditional students by using kind of a very vague catch-all title? Because obviously the previous slide said it was to make the rules more self-explanatory, and non-traditional learning makes it a lot more vague.
Yeah.
Do you want to raise a point?
Yeah.
No, this is a quick point. So at the moment, the university recognises postgraduates as non-traditional learners. At the moment, that's what the university.
I'm sorry, especially coming from an international background, that wouldn't make any sense to me. I'm planning to be a postgraduate, so postgraduate's more self-explanatory to me personally. Sorry, everything else is great.
No, that's fine. That's what we're here for. Continue. Any more questions at all?
That when I saw the traditional learning, I was thinking this stuff. So it didn't really make it more self-explanatory for the university.
I think with the again being a mature student, I prefer to be called a mature student than a non-traditional student.
Okay, so
Again, everything else is just
yeah, okay, so in effect, what we're saying is we agree with all the positions apart from the non-traditional learner, which you would like to still be kept separate as postgraduate and mature.
Yes.
or included postgraduate and mature.
Postgraduate and mature
Whatever,
as one whole.
or as two separate. Whatever makes more sense.
Would it not? I know that other universities where they have got a combined post for what you're classing as non-traditional students, they do have like combined like mature postgraduate and part-time student officers, for example. So would it make more sense to have the post be something that's still readily identifiable for those groups as being, for example, because I know that this includes like distance learners and things like that. So if it was something like mature postgraduate and non-traditional students, but that I feel like that would make more sense to the groups that you're trying to engage that are already difficult to engage with and difficult to kind of to involve in community activities. Well, because it's keeping the remit of the role stays the same, but the title of the role for the officer going forward would be clearer in terms of they cover mature postgraduate and non-traditional students.
I'm just going to come to Amy for just a clarification point on that because she's more. Yes.
So what I'm hearing here is that potentially the room wants to amend, and I'll be interested to see what other campuses say as well, would like to amend this proposal to change that role. So what we can actually do is we can change that here and now. We can have a vote on a proposed amendment if you guys can agree on what that amendment is. So we need to agree on whether that's keeping mature and postgrad separate or making mature and postgrad the one.
Yeah, sorry, do we have any opinions on that?
You class mature, is it over 21?
Yes, technically it's over 21 for undergraduates when you start your course, over 25 postgraduates when you start your course.
So you can have 21 plus. This role is going to be 21 plus or 21 officer. So because they're all going to be above that age.
Again, we need to come up with one proposal to vote on. So it's kind of.
I think Joe's idea of
Yes.
So is it worth saying, because I'm hearing people don't mind it merging, but is it worth actually having the names there? So similar to what Joe said, so mature, postgrad, and non-traditional learners. Is that something that as one role? Because then everyone seems to not mind it merging, but just the name seems to be confusing. So if the names actually are self-explanatory, then maybe that would be the solution. So that could be potentially then.
I think also that name works better because postgraduate and mature students are becoming more common. You find more and more people, when they're saying to them. So I'd actually quite like going to degree in that. So it's less non-traditional, if that makes sense.
Okay, so just so the other campuses can hear, if there are any major points, we're going to have to ask you to come up to and speak on the mic so the other campuses can hear. But from what I'm gathering, so would you like to put forward a proposal? So instead of having it all as one, or obviously having it one, but changing the name to mature, postgraduate, and non-traditional. Is that right?
Sorry, last word. Just one question. Please don't turn that into make it really confusing again. Because I know it's a long title.
Don't turn it into
yeah, just keep it. I know it's a long title, but keep it as a long title because otherwise it will be confusing.
Okay. Right, then we're going to have a vote on the proposed change. Okay, so we'll be. I need to go to the mic first.
Can I maybe ask you a question before that? Sorry.
Yes.
Is there anyone representing distance?
That would be non-traditional.
Is there anyone here or anywhere? Because we've spoken like that we fit ourselves into non-traditional, but obviously no one from distance learners have done so. So will they then be happy with that as well?
I don't think they're enough there. Do we have enough distance learners to have an officer for them? That's the question.
I was just going to say, from my point of view, I would, under my remit as education officer, I would represent them as well. In all honesty, a lot of these groups we already represent as full-time exec officers, so it's just a case of having that more support for those specific groups. So I think when it comes to distance learning, I've been speaking to some students that do that and things like that. So they do have support from me, but it would be good to have them included in another role, so they have more support.
Yeah, I guess my question was just if they are here to vote.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the thing, because there's not enough of them.
But if there's not enough to talk about.
Okay. Thanks for that feedback. Again, obviously we value feedback. What we're going to go through with now is we're going to have a vote, and this vote is going to be on changing this proposal. Okay, so the vote will be, instead of having non-traditional learning, the name will change, and it will be mature, postgraduate, and non-traditional learners, you know, keeping that as a full title. So, yeah, go on.
Make it, it'll be like we're international students, not international learners, but it'd be students rather than learners. It seems kind of a complicated amongst everything else.
Okay, so mature, postgraduate, and non-traditional students. Okay, right. Going to put that forward again. This will be put forward to Clifton and City to vote as well. So one final time. So we're going to be now voting on a change to this proposal. We're changing non-traditional learning to mature, postgraduate, and non-traditional student. Keeping it as a full title. If you would vote for that, please raise your hand now. Be it nice and high. Okay, thank you. We'll just wait for Clifton City. Okay, thank you. And if you vote against, please raise your hand. Thank you. So, City Clifton. Okay, and finally, if you'd like to abstain. Thank you. Okay. Okay, that actually passes. So round of applause. So yeah, these will come into place now to vote on the amendment. Okay, right. So we've now voted, and it's successfully gone through that we can change that. Okay, so now we need to actually vote on it. Okay. So one more slide. Okay. Oh yeah, sorry, I'll just go with this. Okay, so we've now confirmed these will be the new names apart from non-traditional learning, which is now mature, postgraduate, and non-traditional students. So we've got the roles now. Now a bit about kind of what remains the same. So what are we doing anyway? So all equality and diversity officers will be elected annually in a cross-campus election. They'll sit on the student council with the full-time officers. They'll hold termly assemblies for their demographics to collect feedback. They'll be supported by our VP community. They run a group on the website which students can use to contact them and sign up to events, and they'll feed into union departments to run events, trips, activities for their specific demographics. So those roles remain the same, it's just simply the names slightly changing to cater for different groups. Right, okay, so we go back. We now need to vote for this as a whole, whether this will go through and be implemented. So again, I'll ask you if you we'd like to vote in favour of all the proposed changes, but obviously we've already passed the change for mature, postgraduate, non-traditional students, so including that. So just voting as a whole. If you'd like to vote for, please raise your hand now. That's it. That's great. Let's vote for Clifton City. Brilliant. If you vote against, please raise your hand. Thank you. That's great. And finally, if you'd like to abstain, please raise your hand at the front. Thank you. Okay, thank you very much, and that also passes. So there we go. And I believe that will come into place at the start of next academic year. Okay, so there will be the new rules. Again, if you've got any questions you want to ask specifically, to come and speak to the officers. Right, good work so far. Done that. Okay, done that. Statement and notices. So we come to Zaz. Do you want to come to the front? Yeah, that'd be great. So this is Green Leaders. Give her a clap.
Aloha. Okay, so this is just a quick one, just to let you know, if you didn't already know, about Green Leaders. It's a brand new joint project between NTU and NTSU, where students can submit a sustainability big idea proposal. If it can benefit your halls, your course, your campus, whatever, and it's in groups or teams as such. From you can have like 2 members up to 6 members, and you can have up to the chance to win up to £1,000 to actually put your idea in action if it's approved by the board of judges. So it's kind of like a Dragon's Den sort of style thingy where you bring your idea forward, and you do a presentation on it to me and a few other people from the university. You can submit it online, so when you go on to trenchstudents.org/greenleaders, you can submit it online, and it's open to the end of term. And also, if you do make it past the first stage and you do like put on a presentation, there will be training and stuff provided by NTSU. So even if the idea doesn't go forward, it could be a really good chance to gain like some skills for the future. Does anyone have any questions?
Okay. Thank you very much. Applause. Okay, massive thank you today for coming, giving up some of your time to participate. We voted on some really important things as well, and some big changes that are going to be coming in. So I hope you feel that you contributed to that. Again, as I keep mentioning, you know, we are here, so do come and speak to us. If you haven't got any questions, just drop us an email. We're here to represent you after all, and feedback is really what drives our role. So do keep in contact. Date of the next date and time of the next meeting. It's going to be Thursday, 25th of February at Clifton Campus. It'd be great if you can join us for that one, or we'll be live streaming as well from here. So also be running the live stream similar to what we've done tonight. So you can stay in the warmth of Brackenhurst rooms rather than trek all the way to Clifton. But again, just give yourself a massive round of applause and thank you very much.
Thanks for doing it.